Collaboration opportunities, right? So many of you may realize that, okay, I want to network with a Japanese lawyer because there is so much arbitration happening involving Japanese companies, and I want to be connected, or I want to be associated, like there is a lot of arbitration happening in Singapore, and I want to be part of Singapore arbitration. How can I do? How can I do? Can I collaborate with some law firm there? Can I find somebody who will mentor me online, mentor me about how to go about it? You can actually find all of those opportunities on the internet through social network. Okay, it's an amazing opportunity. Okay, it's not about adding people. First of all, you have to, there is how many of you have this in mind, that being on social media means adding people, right? Do you think like that? That being, how to be successful on social media, I have to add people. Are you thinking in terms that I have to add people? Because if you're doing that, that's not how it works. Okay. You have to earn people's follow. You have to earn people's interest, that they are interested in the content that you're posting. That whatever you are doing, they are interested in you, they are interested in the content that you're posting. So it is not about adding people at all. It is about building an audience. Okay. Can you start thinking of social media as not a place where you go to consume content, but it is a place where you go to an audience? It's like your personal media company. Imagine, why do politicians often want to have their own newspaper? Have you thought about it? They want to have their own newspaper, they want to have their own TV channels. Why do they want that? Okay. Why do they want to have their TV channels, propaganda? Okay, you can say so, but to deliver their views, they need to make sure that their ideology, their views, their ideas have to reach people, right? People should hear their side of the story, which is why now political parties try to have their own media because it's so important. Companies also want to have their own media, their own blog, their own Twitter, Facebook, etc. Why? Same reason. They want to reach their views, their ideas, their content to reach people. Now that is the same thing. You need to think like that I am building my own media company, I am building my own outreach, I can reach out to people through this. Now, who is your ideal audience? This is a question you need to decide, because you are not on Twitter. You don't want to have the same audience as, let's say, Rahul Gandhi or Narendra Modi or a journalist, right? That is not why you are on Twitter. You need to be clear. That is why I asked you that what do you want out of Twitter, what do you want out of LinkedIn, right? So what do you want out of it? Who is your ideal audience, right? Think about it, right? You don't want the, let's say, Shekhar Kapoor is a famous journalist and he has millions of followers, right? Or let's take some lawyers, right? Prashant Bhushan is a famous lawyer, has a lot of followers. Do you want the same followers? Probably not. Okay. It is relevant to your work. What would help you to have what kind of audience do you want? What is relevant to you, right? This relevancy is very important to keep in mind. A lot of people go on LinkedIn, and a rookie mistake people make is that they add up everyone, anyone and everyone. Okay. But if not, if you have a small audience, it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to only network with trademark attorneys, or you only want to network with competition lawyers because that is where your interest area is. That's fine, because you want to be a competition lawyer, and there may be very few competition lawyers in the country or around the world, but you are going to exclusively connect with them. It is a small audience, no problem, because that is your interest. And later, if your interest changes, your audience will also have to change. So keep that also in mind. No problem, it is a small audience. Content strategy. You need to think of a content strategy, okay? Because you are becoming a content, most of your content consumers on social media. Now, content strategy, okay? Let's talk about this first, because once you've identified audience, next is you need to know what content you are going to post, okay? So if your ideal audience is competition lawyers, right? Then who are the people who are going to, those competition lawyers, what do they want to read? What do they want to see in videos? What is their interest about competition law? So what content will you post? Now, if you're going to write for, if your ideal audience is different, then your obviously your content strategy will also be different. But you need to come up with a content strategy that I am going to write this kind of content. Maybe that I am going to write about every important competition commission decision. Okay, I am going to write about development of competition law around the world, and I am going to keep posting this every day, right? So that content strategy is very, very important. You have to have a content strategy. If you do not have a content strategy in place, then you will not succeed.